Live for God Studio Productions.
This is Cooking with Brian, a cooking show with food that actually tastes great.
Well, hello folks. Welcome to Cooking with Brian. Grab you a cup of coffee, and today we are going to make Spunky Chilli. Spunky Chilli rhymes with funky, spunky, or monkey. Grab you a cup of coffee, and we're going to make Spunky Chilli today. And here's how you make it, friends. Okay, friends, we're going to go over what you'll need to make this. Okay, friends, we're going to go over the ingredients. The first thing you need is one of these pouches of chili powder. It says Chili Original by McCormick's, if you can see that. You can use the more hot kind if you want. If you want it even more spunky, use something much more potent than that. You can they have like mild versions and they have hotter versions. We're just going to use the original one, and the reason why is because my wife thought that since I was going to make spunky chili that she needed to cut back on the chili powder to where it wasn't quite as potent, but that's alright. We're going to make up for it. Okay, spices, you're going to need garlic powder, onion powder, some salt, which you don't see here, some black pepper. You need 3 cans of chili style beans in gravy. You can use kidney beans, but if you do, you'll have to drain the nasty oils out of it. You'll need an onion. You will need a can of diced tomatoes. You will need 3 cans of whole peeled tomatoes, which you see we have here. And then you will need some Italian sausage. This is my favorite. Beguilas mild Italian sausage. They also have a hot kind. You can use that if you want it even more spunky. But there's nothing like Beguilas sausage. It's something that I kind of swear by. It's some good stuff. You won't find anything even close to it anywhere. But this is made in Kansas City, so you may not have it where you are. If you live anywhere else, Johnsonville's ground Italian sausage is very good also. You can get that at Walmart or something like that, about anywhere. But this is what we're using, and if you noticed, I don't know if you can see the label there, this is 1.27 pounds, so it really don't matter how much you put in there as long as it's at least 1 pound. It could be a couple pounds if you want that much in there. It's up to you. Okay, friends, the next thing you want to do is wash your filthy hands, because I know that the other people eating your spunky chili would feel relieved to know that you washed your hands before you started cooking the food, because Lord knows where your hands go. We don't even want to know those things, so make sure you wash them because they're nasty. Okay, friends, the next thing you need is a skillet. This is my favorite skillet, so you can't have it. You can't use mine. Go get your own. This is a red copper skillet, the kind that very little things ever sticks to this. I mean, I've had a couple things like burgers or something might, but I usually don't. It just needs re-seasoned, where you got to put the oil in there and put it in your oven for like, I don't know what it was, 20 minutes or whatever it was, with oil in there, and that seasons it. Well, this one is due for seasoning. In fact, it's overdue for seasoning, but I'm not doing it today because I'm lazy. Okay, First thing you want to do, and don't cut yourself or it's your fault. If you cut yourself, your family members, your animals, or get hurt in any way with sharp knives, it's your fault. You take full responsibility. It's not my fault, it's yours. Take your one large white onion and carefully cut the ends of it off. What I like to do is I just like to go down one layer. That's good enough to get underneath of it. Now you notice that this onion looks fairly good, except for where it grew in there. It kind of looks a little dry in there, so I'll probably pick some of that out as I slice it. Okay friends, you want to go ahead and slice your onion up. It's a pretty large onion, so we're going to get like, I don't know, it looks like we're getting about 6 slices out of this bad boy. Let's see, I guess it don't look too bad in the middle. I might pick a couple of the little pieces out of there if it don't quite look like what I want. But for the most part, the onion is pretty good. I think it'll be alright to leave it in there. It's not bad, it's just a little dry in there, that's all. So it'll fry up just the same. Guess that's the part that... Yeah, we'll take it out just for the heck of it, I guess. It don't matter. It'll all fry up. Okay, if you burn yourself or others, it's your fault. You take 100% full responsibility. Anything bad that happens, you take full responsibility using my recipes. It's always your fault, not mine. But if anything good happens, you can give me all the credit you want to. But rather than give me any credit, just give the Lord thanks, friends. A lot of people forgets to give the Lord thanks, including me. So we need to give the Lord the thanks He's due, because, you know, He doesn't have to leave us down here. Okay, friends, we threw the onions in a pan there. Now we're going to take our Italian sausage and we are going to stick it in the pan with the onions. Okay friends, we want to go ahead and stick the correct burner that correlates with where the pan's at, which is towards the outside. So we're going to make sure we put that one on about the 5 o'clock position. And you want to take a little bit of canola oil. I don't use vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is very bad for your health. Use canola oil. It's neither good nor bad for you from what I heard, but I'm not an expert at that kind of stuff. I just use canola oil because they say it's safer for your health. And pour just a little bit in there. I don't know, we poured at least probably maybe about a quart of oil in there. And that's so our stuff don't stick and it won't burn as bad as you cook it. Okay friends, and I forgot to mention, one of the secret ingredients to this Spunky Chilli is right here, friends. Can you see that? I guess I got to put it in front of the camera. See that, friends? Rotel. This is the stuff you put in a cheese dip in your crock pot. Did you know you can use this stuff for other things, like putting in chili? Because it has like green chilies in it. Diced tomatoes and all kinds of good stuff. This stuff is like awesome, and this is what's going to make the the chili a lot spunkier, along with the Italian sausage and the spices we use. It's going to be some spunky good chili. So get you a can of Rotel. That's one of the ingredients to my spunky chili. Okay friends, and you want to drink some more coffee too. That way you have enough energy to do this. Okay friends, the next thing you need is a very large pan. This is bigger than a Dutch oven pan. It's a large stainless steel pan. I'm just rinsing the dust out of it, because you will not need any water for this recipe. Okay friends, you want to make sure that you break this Italian sausage up as it starts to fry. I could probably put this light on here where you can see a little better. Break up your sausage and flip it a little bit as it's cooking. You gotta flip it a few times before it'll really start breaking up good. I kind of leave my onions off to the side until I get it broke down pretty decent, and then I'll just mix it all in together. But meanwhile, while that's going on, we can go ahead and start sticking our ingredients in the pan back here. 1 can of diced tomatoes. I don't remember if I mentioned that. You want 1 can of diced tomatoes. Go ahead and dump that in. Okay, then you can go ahead and dump your 3 cans of chili style beans in gravy. Go ahead and dump all 3 of those cans in there. Go ahead, throw your can of Rotel in there. Make sure we stay on top of this, breaking this up and flipping it over, or whatever you need to do here. Gonna go ahead and flip it again. Still kind of large. Okay friends, you can go ahead and put your chili powder in here now too. Kind of spread it all around there as you pour it in. Okay, go ahead and get your onion powder. You can put about 12, at least 12 to 15 dashes of onion powder. Your garlic powder, about 5 dashes. Okay friends, and we'll come back to that in a minute. I need to take care of the sausage here. Don't want it to burn. We're going to flip it again. That way we can buy a little bit more time. Whoops, I'm making a mess. Make sure you clean your mess up so your spouse don't like execute you, because if that happens, it's your fault, not mine. Since you already have your powders on there, it's not going to hurt to go ahead and put your black pepper in. But you want to scatter it about. Put exactly 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Make sure it spreads all around there, because if it balls up and gets wet, it'll be a big clump. So you want to make sure it's scattered all around on your powders and stuff there. Okay, now that this has been cooking for a little while, we can begin to start breaking the sausage up as we're frying it. The more done it gets, the easier it'll break into smaller pieces. And you can continue to do that the whole time it's frying until you get it broke up really, really good. If you see any fat pieces later, you can always cut them in half or whatever. Okay, now that we got that broke down halfway decent, we can go ahead and start mixing our onions into it. If you get any large pieces of onions, you can break them down into smaller ones too, if you want to. It don't matter. Okay friends, we're going to go ahead and turn this burner on. I'm just going to put it on about the 6 o'clock position for now. Okay friends, and then you want to take your 3 cans of the whole peeled tomatoes and go ahead and drain the juice out. We're not going to put that in the chili because we don't want to have to fish it out later, so we're just going to go ahead and drain the 3 cans of whole peeled tomatoes 1 can at a time. Go ahead and run it through your blender. Do that for all 3 cans, and then go ahead and dump it in with your chili. Okay friends, you want to go ahead and get you a ladle and start stirring this. It'll stir a lot better once it starts getting warm. Make sure you stay on top of your sausage. Make sure you don't get burned up. You don't want it to get all burned up and stuck to the bottom of the pan. If for some reason that the stuff starts sticking, you can add a little bit more canola oil to it if it starts sticking real bad to your skillet. It's better to put a little bit of canola oil in there to make sure that it's not all sticking to your skillet. But we shouldn't have any serious troubles with this red copper skillet. They're pretty good at keeping stuff from sticking to it unless you just ignore it completely until it burns or whatever. Far superior to a regular non-stick skillet in my mind. And it's much easier to clean. And you don't have to worry about, some people like to use spoons and all that crap. It's harder to scratch the surface of the copper as compared to the non-stick, which is extremely easy to scratch it up. So if you got somebody in your house that cooks besides you and they like to scratch all your stuff up, get red copper stuff. That way it'll take them longer to ruin your stuff than a non-stick type skillet or pan. But the bad thing is you cannot use the dishwasher to clean these pans. They got to be hand washed, but they clean extremely easily. It only takes a minute to clean one out in the sink and rinse it out. It rinses real easy. So we're just going to cook this until it's just looks to be done. You don't want to take chances with pork. It's not one of the things you want to be eating rare. You want to make sure that this looks done, maybe slightly browned even before you put it in your chili. Okay friends, at this time you want to drink some more coffee. Okay, give some more disclaimers. If you happen to make people mad because of the after effects of the chili and they beat you to a pulp, it's your fault because you ate the chili. I didn't put the spoon in your mouth. You ate it yourself, and that means it's your fault, not mine. If your body cannot handle the spices and you don't make it to the restroom and you make a disaster, it's your fault, not mine. You take full responsibility because I have no idea what your body can handle. And mine probably can't either, but that's too much information. See, I don't know if you know it or not, as you get older, your body tends to not be able to handle some things quite as good as they used to be able to. So, if you happen to make a disaster and ruin your nice carpeting in your house, or ruin your clothes, or just make people very angry at you to where they execute you or something, it's your fault, friend, not mine. So I don't want to hear any complaining. It should be starting to get a little brown now. I gotta watch, kind of low on the canola oil. The canola oil's just about completely gone because it's starting to just barely stick to the bottom of the skillet, but I ain't worried about it. It'll come right off. Okay, we got a little bit of browning going on here, friends, and that tells me it's just about done. One thing I will say, when you buy Italian sausage, try not to put it in the freezer, because if you do that and you take it out as you cook it, it'll look like a pinkish color, and it'll look very difficult to be able to tell if it's done because it'll still be pink. So if you can avoid freezing your Italian sausage, please do so, because you'll have much better results with the flavor and everything if you do not freeze your Italian sausage. However, sometimes I've gone to the store and they already had this stuff already frozen, which makes me very angry. Thanks a lot, Hy-Vee, for the times that you freeze Italian sausage when you should not. However, this one I'll say they did not freeze it, so we got a good batch at Hy-Vee this time. So Hy-Vee is our local grocery store here in the Kansas City area. Okay friends, we're going to call this done. You want to carefully, without hurting yourself, put all this sausage in your chili. I don't worry about a little bit of canola oil getting in there. It ain't going to hurt you. Make sure you turn your burners off that you're done using and don't touch them. If you happen to stick your hand on a hot burner, it's your fault. You want to go ahead and stir it up good. Okay friends, now that we got all the ingredients in there and the stuff is pretty much simmering. Now eventually it's going to almost go to a boil. If it goes to a boil, turn your burner down. And I would suggest about the 830 position. Once this stuff starts simmering, turn it down to about the 830 position for the remainder of the time, or lower if it has to be. But you, at this point, after you put the sausage in, go ahead and let it simmer for at least 1 hour, preferably 2 hours. Okay friends, this is what it looks like when it's done. Yeah baby, look at that. Oh yeah. Delicious. Delicious chili. Spunky chili. Okay friends, and that's how you make my spunky chili. I hope that's a blessing, and we'll see you next time. Bye y'all.